Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is your Modern Tech Breakdown. Today I'm looking at a rather technical issue that popped up this week regarding Cloudflare's DNS over HTTPS service at 1.1.1.1. Let's jump into it. Alright, so on Wednesday of this week, there was a little bit of a panic on the internet as it seemed that a certificate authority had issued an erroneous certificate for Cloudflare's 1.DNS service. It seems that someone this week noticed the issuance of these certificates back in May in the transparency log of the Fina Certificate Authority. And as you can imagine, there was some concern and reporters grabbed onto it as they should, but as more details came out, it seems that perhaps it's not as big a deal as it seems. So let's dive into the details a bit. So I know my audience, the smartest audience on the internet, understands how certificates work. So I'm not going to spend time explaining the intricacies of public key infrastructure. But it's fair to say that encryption keys and certificates and keeping them secure is rather important to the functioning of the modern internet. But it seems that a gentleman named Yufu Zhang reported that the Croatian Certificate Authority Fina issued 3 certificates for the 1.1.1.1 IP address and rightly assumed that this was done in error. And after a few days of research and analysis, it seems that Fina was doing some internal testing of their automated certificate issuance system and issued these certificates in error. The fact that they were issued for 1.1.1.1 does make that explanation seem very plausible to me. I could definitely imagine a developer using that IP address for testing. However, you have to be concerned that testing like this was done in production. You don't have to work in technology for too long to recognize the dangers of testing in production. But regardless, Fina claims that these certificates never left their control and in fact were destroyed immediately. Assuming that is true, then this entire story is a tempest in a teapot and represents no impact to the broader internet. But even if that isn't true and the erroneous certificates were in the wild, there's still not too much cause for concern as only Microsoft products trust the Fina Certificate Authority. It seems that Google, Apple, and Mozilla products do not. So if you don't use Microsoft products, you would have even less concern. And even further, in order to exploit these erroneous certificates, a bad guy would still need to set up a man-in-the-middle attack on its victim in order to impersonate the real service, which isn't likely to happen for most users. And even still, their certificates have been revoked, so this really doesn't seem like anything to worry about. But there you have it, a bit of internet panic over the last few days that seems to have come full circle. But on the positive side, Cloudflare has taken ownership of the situation. Even though in my opinion they didn't do anything wrong, it would seem they are going to improve their monitoring of certificate authority transparency logs in order to catch these situations more quickly. As I said, these certificates were issued back in May. So that would be a welcome improvement from Cloudflare. So there is some positive news to this story. But that's all I have on this for today. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.